Yo, so guys, and welcome back to a brand new HMS news video. Today we're talking about Brad Binder being the top KTM rider in the KTM family, heading to Europe, obviously after the opening rounds in Qatar and the Doha GP, obviously being back-to-back Grand Prix at the same track. A difficult track for KTM. We did see them struggle quite a bit. They did try a different strategy in the second race, and it went slightly better. At least for Brad Binder, I guess you could say, compared to the first race. But yeah, Qatar isn't really a good track for KTM, and they definitely didn't look all that competitive. But obviously going to Europe, and that is where we should see them back on top form. And we do have Brad Binder leading the way in the KTM family. Sat in P12 in the championship, got 10 points for KTM. His teammate has 4 points, and then unfortunately the Tech 3 riders, Danilo Petrucci and Michael Aquona, don't have any points to their name. So yeah, just the factory boys flying the flag for KTM at the moment. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, you know, how it all unfolds in Europe. Obviously, that is where, you know, last season we saw them, you know, quite competitive, and obviously Portugal, you know, Miguel Oliveira completely dominated that Grand Prix last year. So it'll be interesting to see, you know, if more of the same will happen this year as we go over to Portugal. You know, obviously all the riders are now kind of had some knowledge about the track. Obviously, you know, Miguel Oliveira knew Portimao more than the other riders, and you know, completely dominated that Grand Prix. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see obviously KTM back up the front there, because you know they're the ones kind of lacking at the moment. You know, we've had the Aprilia fighting up there, at least in the beginning stages of the Grand Prix in both the races, and unfortunately dropped back a little bit towards the end. But you know, KTM in the opening rounds, they were fighting for the lower end of the points. Unfortunately, you know, we did see Miguel Oliveira get a very good start in the Doha GP, got up to 3rd place, I think it was, but unfortunately dropped down like a stone throughout the Grand Prix. So yeah, very unfortunate, you know, opening rounds for KTM. They're definitely not in the position that they would have wanted to be in, you know, going into Europe and that, you know, fighting for the World Championship. To already be, you know, quite far behind is, you know, a little bit unfortunate. I think it's like 30 points. I think Johan Zarco is on 40 or something like that. So yeah, 40 points. Obviously got P2 back to back. So you know, Brad Binder being on 10 points is already 30 behind. That's already more than a race win. And then obviously, you know, Miguel Oliveira only being on the 40 points, the 4 points, sorry. So yeah, a little bit of an unfortunate start to the season for the KTM riders. But I definitely feel like, you know, now that we're going to be heading to Europe, I think they will, you know, start fighting further into the top 10 and a couple podiums here and there, because, you know, we did see, you know, that kind of performance last season. So I expect more of the same this year. It's just that, you know, Qatar is a bogey track on the calendar, and hopefully the only one on the calendar. You know, they can't really afford to have any more of them. So it's going to be interesting to see how the season unfolds, and obviously see how the KTM rivalry unfolds. Also, you know, KTM, they have a massive tree in, you know, in the sport between Moto 2 and Moto 3, with super talented riders that they will be keeping an eye on. So you know, everyone's got to be on top form. You know, top form. You know, Michael Aquona and Danilo Petrucci, they might be sweating seeing the riders do absolute wonders in Moto 2 with Remy Gardner, and then obviously Moto 3 with a bunch of riders. So everyone needs to get on top form. Obviously, Europe is the start to the season, I guess you could say, for KTM. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can achieve and who will be the top KTM rider, because, you know, they will have different styles of, you know, of racing and that on the bike, and they're all pretty close, especially Brad Binder and also Miguel Oliveira. So it's going to be very interesting. Make sure you're down in the comments, do you think we'll see the resurgence of KTM when we get to Portugal and further European rounds? Make sure you're down in the comments, leave a like and subscribe for more content as always, and I'll see you with some brand new videos very soon.